Hi, this is Sarah of Sarah Q. Geist DBT Myofascial Release. I want to give you a myofascial release self-treatment for the piriformis. So the piriformis is a muscle that is in our bum, okay, and it runs from the sacrum, so that kind of triangular shaped bone right at the base of our spine that our spine sits on. It runs from the edge of that kind of through the bum and into the femur, okay, so it kind of creates a diagonal there. And this is an area that a lot of times people really work on stretching and opening up. It can be tight for quite a lot of us. As a pelvic floor physical therapist, I think that it's related to tension and holding through the pelvic floor, related to stress and trauma there. So I think that that can be an element as well. But just like when you're washing a window, it can be helpful to do releases from the inside and from the outside. So maybe if there's interest, I can talk a little bit about how to do myofascial release treatment for the pelvic floor. But for right now, we're going to be focusing on releasing some of those muscles from the outside. So piriformis is that one. Again, if you're thinking about, oh, well, I stretch that muscle, and it's not really doing a whole lot. If you have a restriction in that muscle, if you have an area that's really being held and restricted, when you stretch, that restriction isn't really going to open up, right? It really wants to stay there. It's a protective restriction. We all have a lot of those through our body. And so when you're stretching, the areas that aren't restricted are really the areas that are going to start to relax and release. And so this can be really nice for getting into kind of more of the pinpoint areas. So basically what you want to do, if you have two balls, two therapy balls, these are 4-inch, they're called Sport Time All Balls. You can order them on Amazon. If you have some play balls that your kiddos have, you can give those a try. Tennis balls might be a little bit too much. You want something that gives you a little bit of pressure, but not so much pressure that you can't relax around it. But you could always try a tennis ball if you feel like you're able to relax into pretty intense sensation. And you don't need two of these. One is fine. If you only have one, get maybe a towel or a pillow, something that you can support the other side of your pelvis with. So what you're going to do is you're going to lie on your back and you're going to come into what we call a figure 4 position. Okay, so the side that you're going to be releasing is going to be bent, and the knee's going to be bent, and that ankle is going to be on top of the other knee. And then you're just going to roll over a little bit so that there's some space for the ball. And so first thing that you want to do is you want to figure out exactly where you want to be doing the release. So a lot of times people will get onto a ball and they'll roll around. That's not really great for releasing. That's really great for figuring out where you need to release. So if I just kind of roll around on that from the edge of my hip in towards my sacrum, and I can move the ball around a little bit, for me there's definitely some tension towards the outside, so out towards the hip. But wherever it works for you, wherever you need to kind of feel that pressure, go with that. So once you kind of have found where that area of tension or area of tightness is, you might find that what you end up needing to do is to kind of roll and rotate your pelvis so that you have a little bit more weight onto the ball. And that's where the towel, the other ball, a pillow can come in really handy, because we want you to be able to really fully relax, and you're not going to be able to fully relax if you're really rotating and holding yourself up like that. So kind of find the position where there's just the right amount of pressure, and you'll learn that the more that you practice this, you'll figure that out. And then take the other tool that you have and put it under the other side of your bum. So see if you can see, so the ball's under the left side, and now I just kind of find, okay, that's about where I want to be, and then I just stick that under the right side of my bum so that I am supported and relaxed and feeling the release on that left side. Okay, so then once you get into that position, then your job is to really bring your awareness to your body and bring your awareness specifically to that area where you're releasing and relaxing. So when we think about fascia being a web of tissue, that means that this area where I am working in the left side of my bum is connected to every other part of my body. It seems like common sense, but you'd be amazed at how many doctors, how many surgeons how many medical professionals don't really realize that any part of your body is connected to any other part of your body. Some obviously more closely connected than others, but depending on how your specific restrictions in your body are, you may feel this sensation right under the ball, likely, right? And then you also may feel it in different areas of your body. So for me, I can feel kind of a line of tension or a line of pulling going up the left side of my low back. You may feel this into your pelvis, in the front of your pelvis, on the other side of your pelvis. You may feel it going down into your leg. You may feel it in your right pinky toe. You might feel it in your right side of your neck. Because of the web-like nature of fascia, that can really happen anywhere. So one of the things that's good to do is just kind of notice that. Notice if you can feel a pulling or a stretching or an opening happening anywhere else in your body. And then really the other thing to do is just focus on softening and releasing and relaxing. You want to hang out for 3 to 5 minutes in each of the positions that you do. And during that time, just watch and notice what lets go. And during that time, see if there's anything else that you can let go of. This is an opportunity for things that we're not aware of to come into our awareness. So we may not be aware of the holding that we're doing in different areas of our body. This can be an opportunity for you to feel that holding and see if you can bring some awareness to it and bring some softening to it. Anytime you get distracted, just bring yourself back to the sensations. And to come off of this, you can just kind of roll off the ball a little bit, squeeze it out from underneath you, uncross your legs, or you can uncross your legs first if you'd like. Just take a moment, let your body move in any ways that it feels like it wants to move. Bring yourself into kind of a still neutral position with the knees bent or the knees straight. Whatever feels right for your body. And then go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So now you'll cross the other leg and then put the ball underneath. Take a few moments. Maybe you know exactly where you need to be already, but if not, or if you're not convinced, play around with it a little bit. Like I said, this is the time where you can roll and figure out where you want to be, or move that ball around. So for me on this side, I'm feeling it quite a bit, a little bit more in the middle of that butt cheek. And then once you feel like, okay, that's exactly where I need to be, but I have to work to kind of hold myself on the ball, then use your other prop, stick it underneath you, and allow yourself to relax. And again, with this side, I can feel that definitely right under where the ball is, but I can also feel it right into the low back on the right side. This side, it feels much more specific. On the left side, it kind of felt like pretty diffuse into the low back, but this side, I can feel it right at that area in the low back between where the top of the pelvis is and where the bottom of the ribs are. So that's a good sign to me that that's probably an area where I have some restriction, right? I'm asking the fascial system under the right side of my bum to soften, to release, and to relax, and I'm getting some information from my body. I'm listening to my body, and I'm hearing from it, hey, it's not really wanting to release in the right side of the low back at this very specific area. So that might be a good place to go to next. And that's the beauty of this system, is that you don't have to have a protocol. If you learn how to listen to your body lets you know exactly where to go. So again, on this other side, you're softening, you're feeling, you're keeping your awareness in your body. You're not trying to force anything to happen. You're allowing your body to soften and relax and let go with the help of the ball. If it feels like it's too much, I've been here for a little while and I'm feeling like my body is like, I don't think so. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move the ball a tiny little bit, see if I can still feel some of that same sensation in that area, but maybe it's not quite as intense, and so then my body can soften a little bit more. And then again, you can come out of it by either rolling off the balls first, or you can uncross your legs first and then get the balls out from underneath you. As always, just kind of let your body move around a little bit, however it would like to, and then allow it to come into stillness and just notice the effects of doing that practice. So I talked about how your body will let you know the next places that you need to release into. So I'll do a video of the area that my body told me to release into, but I'd encourage you to try it on your own. So if there is a spot that came up or a spot that you know is tight, use one of these 4-inch Sport Time all balls. If you're a client of mine, please ask me and I can make sure that you get one of these. I have some in my office that I'll give to you. And you can use these just about anywhere. If you're not sure that you can trust yourself to listen to your body, I have a video that talks about learning how to understand when your body is telling you yes and when your body is telling you no, and what to do when your body's telling you maybe or I'm not sure. So feel free to check that video out. If you're trying to figure out how to get into an area and you can't quite figure it out, shoot me a message, leave a comment, and ask, and I'll do a video on it. Hope you guys are staying well. Take care.